pencil or an iPhone in their hand? Everybody got a pencil and iPhone? I want you to write something down. 81-43, 262nd Street. 8143, 262nd Street. That's where we're all meeting. That's Mr. Patel's house, the man who's trying to destroy all of our communities, and we're going there today. We have about 3 or 4 buses here. If there's room on there, we'll be happy to get you folks on there, but I think you can make it over there with your cars. 8143, 262nd. I also want to make clear, Tony Avella came out to you guys yesterday and did a press conference, and Tony Avella claimed he didn't even tell us that he was coming. He came to a couple of our marches, okay, and he didn't even tell us he was coming out here to see you folks. He didn't even tell us that he was coming over here to see you folks. And he's going to give you false hope that this guy signed a paper that he's not going to do it. I'm going to tell you right now that that is not true. That is not true. This man plans on going forward with every deal he has going with the city. He was supposed to meet us here at 10 o'clock this morning and sign paperwork saying that he was not going to open the homeless shelter in Maspeth. And he lied again. He's not here, and he said he was going to be here. He will not return our phone calls. So don't believe any of the bullshit Tony put on Tony Avella put on your community yesterday. This man is totally going forward. We're keeping these shelters in operation. That's okay? Right. And I want to make it clear, we're not here because we hate the homeless. You know who we don't like? The city of New York, a company named Acacia, and a man named Stephen Banks. That's why we're here. Stephen Banks was an advocate lawyer for the homeless for 25 years, changing what's called the Callahan Consent Decree to include non-residents of New York City. And as a matter of fact, we're the only city in the country that has a right to shelter law. The only city in the country that has a right to shelter law, meaning all they have to do is say they're homeless and they get a hotel room key. He spent 20 years changing the laws to include non-residents of New York City and, in fact, non-residents of this country in that law. And now, Stephen Banks, the Department of Homeless Service, is selling those laws to companies like Acacia, the shelter providers. These guys are getting uncontested, no competitive bidding process, billions of dollars in city contract by, and their Mayor de Blasio's campaign contributors. This is a scheme to make money on the city, and they're exploiting the homeless and destroying our communities, and we're not going to stand for it. We all go to Mr. Patel's house right after this. Thanks for joining us, Cowboys. All right, folks, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to go over to the community affairs people. I'm going to tell them that we want to march in a circular fashion and legal. Let us set that up. We're going to do that for about, I'd say probably 20 minutes. And then we're going to march down to the Quality Inn at 256th Street and Jericho Turnpike. All right, so that's the way this is going to go right now. And then Patel's house. So hang out.
And then the mayor's house.
I want to say, don't worry about anything. As long as we stay on the sidewalk, we don't block the streets, we're perfectly legal as Americans to protest all we want. You're in no danger of being arrested or convicted of anything by doing this. We'll get advised by the police on what the rules are, and we'll stay within those rules and protest peacefully, okay? Peacefully, and we're perfectly legal to do it, all right?
Tony Avella must go! Tony Avella.